Right, my name is Vanessa and I work for SMA Europe. SMA Europe is an organisation which consists of 13 member organisations across Europe. And historically our aims have mainly been to accelerate translational research pathways in SMA and to promote patient care. But since about 2 years ago we've had quite a few compounds that are now entering clinical trials. And our board are either patients themselves or parents of patients, and very busy people, and it's not their day job, so they employed me, and I'm their member of staff. But we all felt sort of slightly uneducated in the whole field of clinical trials, which is quite complicated. So this is why we came to Findacure. So we applied for mentoring for the peer mentoring project. Because of the lack of experience and resources. So we were very lucky to be paired with Dr. Tina, who's over there. She has a BSc in pharmacy, a PhD in pharmaceutics, who's also a certified management consultant, and very importantly has 25 years experience working in research and development within the pharma and biotech industries. She also worked for Presenza, which is very helpful to us because they saw a compound go through clinical trials, and it also means that Tina knows all the people that are working in our field. And I think I forgot to say that SMA is spinal muscular atrophy, and it's a rare inherited neuromuscular disease. So our primary aim with this project was to try and sort of ensure successful clinical trials for these compounds that are going through. So Tina set up a roadmap, if you like, of how best to do this, which can be broadly divided into 3 categories. So the first thing to do was to find where the patients were, and to see where they all were and whether the registries were established for each of our countries. So we did that, and I'll tell you in the next slide what our results were. Tina also sort of suggested we look at where all the clinical trial centres in Europe were, who the investigators are, and create a list. Whether these trial centres that do exist, whether they're running at capacity or if there were more sort of things that needed to run effective clinical trials. Also, another very important point is to determine what the patient might be expecting out of clinical trials in terms of not only the drug and the effect of the drug, but also in terms of logistics. I was quite interested in Dan's going to talk about his information video, so I might look at that when it comes out. To also establish which the companies are that are developing these drugs and establish a point of contact with each one of them. And then finally, well not finally, but very importantly, establish a relationship with the regulators to make sure that the companies are going to sort of meet all the requirements that the regulators want to see before they can look through the drug. And then on the clinical side, it's important to establish outcome measures and biomarkers so clinicians can monitor the progress of the drug or if it has any effect on patients. So we try to determine what the state of play was for both outcome measures and biomarkers. Determine whether any of these were applicable for any clinical trial centres. And if we could bring any additional measures that would be better for patients than the ones that are currently available. So our results. So we've again through Tina, I contacted an organisation called Treat NMD, and luckily for us, they hold all the registers for all our countries, all the registers for SMA, except for one country, Iceland, who are very tiny, only have 15 patients. They don't have any experts, so we're trying to organise for some training to be available for their doctors over there. So that's been very valuable. So we've made a sort of a map of where all the clinical trial centres are. We've also got a whole list now of investigators. Capacity of sites, we're still developing that. We've not sort of finished doing. I mean, certainly there's quite a few patients in Poland. We haven't got a clinical trial site there. We were told that it would take about 5 years to establish one, so we're currently looking at to what we can do about that to speed things up a bit. We carried out in the summer a survey to see what the patient expectation was, and that was very successful. So we ran across all our registries a survey asking, did the patient want an improvement, were they happy with just stabilization of SMA, or what were they expecting? So we've got all the results, and we're in the process of analysing all of this, and hopefully we will publish sometime in the next few months. So we now have relationships with all the pharmaceutical companies that are involved in drug development for SMA. We've highlighted the issues and the gaps, and the issues are primarily the number of patients, and also because we don't have that many patients. Once they've taken part in one trial, they have to have a gap of a minimum of 2 years before they can be eligible for another trial. So we foresee that that's going to be a problem. We've undergone training with EMA. We went to one of their workshops and to find out also how, for rare diseases, whether we can sort of accelerate pathways. So we found out about their programs. And then for outcome measures and biomarkers, we've almost established the state of play for biomarkers, and again with the help of Tina, we have spoken to Professor Fallini in Italy, who suggested we organise a workshop to see what the clinicians felt needed to be done to progress research in biomarkers. We also had the workshops with the NMC to look at outcome measures and to try and get consensus on those. And as Tina suggested, we do try and bring some that might be better for patients, so we're still looking at that. So concluding remarks, the peer mentoring scheme has been highly valuable for us, and particularly that Tina has got all the right background to help us. She's been incredibly helpful in teaching us how to tackle it, and giving us names of experts who we can reach out to. And also it's actually opened other doors in that we're now looking at a couple of drugs for repurposing. So I've been talking to Rick from Findacure, and I will be listening to the webinar. And so I would just like to say thank you very much to Findacure and Flora in particular, of course to Tina, my board members, and to Professor Alessandra Fallini and Francesca Buttini, who have very supportive.